Welcome back to the show. Let's tune into the movie review of The Dark Knight Rises with Chris and Jared.
And thanks, Jackie. We are back in the theater once more, and this time we are watching the final chapter in Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, The Dark Knight Rises.
Yes, and this is actually one of my favorite superhero trilogies, if not my favorite.
Oh.
So yeah, a lot of expectations when it comes to Dark Knight Rises. And also in honor of Superhero Week, throws back to the first episode with the Spider-Man shirt.
And I'm here with my friend Jared Strand, and we can't wait to review and watch this movie with you. So we're reviewing it for...
Little touch of
Let's not talk
there.
about that episode.
Yeah, that was an early one, but we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on this wonderful piece of film, so let's enjoy.
Let's not stand on ceremony here. Mr. Wayne. Shadows betray you because they belong to me. Ah, yes! I was wondering what would break first. Your spirit? Oh, your buddy!
And that's actually a classic moment there, the classic Batman getting his back broken by Bane. And there's a story in the graphic novel called Nightfall.
Yes.
And that imagery is perfect. That's why I consider it one of the greatest superhero battles ever when it comes to a villain. The cinematography is excellent. The pitch silent of how there's no music, it's very dry, the delivery is there, that way every punch, every bit of dialogue, every sound in that scene just captivates the moment.
Yes, I do believe it's probably the strongest scene in the entire movie. Tom Hardy's performance, just fantastic. Almost introducing the entire audience to the character of Bane. And I think this is a very strong statement to not only Tom Hardy, but Anne Hathaway as well.
Let the games begin.
Wow. So that must have been really expensive to create for Christopher Nolan.
Well, actually, the funny thing is that with the Dark Knight trilogy itself, he limits the amount of CGI that he uses. That entire sequence was all practical effects.
No way.
Yeah, the destruction of the stadium, the bridge.
It's a combination of special effects and visual effects, and also some tightly coordinated stunts. Our department built a raised section of the field with holes in it that the stuntmen could drop into.
To figure out how to blow the field up and put all of that turf that's being exploded, put that in the air behind Heinz Ward who's running with the ball. The stunt guys were...
Everything that Bane does in that one scene, with the tunnel, with the police officers, everything is all practical.
It looks very impressive, and I do have to give a shout out to Christopher Nolan.
Yep. And it is a very Hollywood-like ending, but I particularly enjoy the ending of Dark Knight Rises because it's based off of the audience interpretation. I believe that he did survive and that he did live the happy ending of seeing Alfred. There are a lot of clues with the Pearl of Necklaces being gone that Anne Hathaway's character is clearly shown wearing in the scene with Bruce Wayne. The Batman signal being repaired, Batwing. So I personally love the ending. I love how it's a Hollywood happy ending for the trilogy.
I don't know. It kind of feels like a cop-out to me.
Really?
This movie, 2 hours and 45 minutes is its runtime, and to get that ending from such a great story creation, and I don't know. I just feel like Nolan kind of pulled one out on us.
I mean, I see where you're coming from. I mean, it's similar to the ending of Inception. That's another Christopher Nolan film, so that's why I feel like a lot of audiences were just not there.
Yeah,
So
I agree. And that is the end of the 2012 movie, The Dark Knight Rises. Jared, what did you think of this film?
Well, I have to be honest with you, a lot of expectation on this film itself. Dark Knight is considered not only a great superhero film, but also one of the greatest films of all time. And I believe that while this may not match that level of success or superb, I believe that Dark Knight Rises is still an exquisite film. I still believe that it's great. Anne Hathaway's performance as Catwoman is excellent. Tom Hardy, the menacing presence.
Breakout character.
Yes. His presence as Bane is similar to how James Earl Jones and David Prowse were able to bring the life of Darth Vader to the screen, that fear, that evil. Yes, there are some errors and it's not perfect, but that doesn't stop me from giving it 4 out of 4 stars.
Wow, 4 out of 4.
Yeah.
For me, I definitely feel like this is probably the weakest in Nolan's series.
Oh.
I just wasn't impressed by the whole Occupy Wall Street thing. It just didn't come over me as a great storytelling device. I feel like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I feel like that whole Nightwing,
Yeah, you're right.
I feel like that was a swing and a miss. I really feel like when you compare it as the final chapter in this wonderful trilogy, I think that it's the weakest. So unfortunately, I have to give Rises a 2.5 out of 4.
Oh, wow. That low.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Sorry.
Hey, to each his own. Well, that was Movie Review. I'm Jared Strand.
And I'm Chris Horton, and we'll be back after these messages.
Hello, I'm Jason Zalman from Hollywood Scoop. Here at Real to Real, we don't just talk about the movies and stars, we idolize them. This year, during this holiday season, we like to commemorate, remember, and thank all of the actors and actresses that passed away this year. You will be missed. Happy Thanksgiving, and thank you.
This week, Behind the Curtain hit the road to talk to the manager of the Burlington Regal 20, Ryan Ditmars. Here's Behind the Curtain with Jared Strand.
Hi, I'm Jared Strand from Reel to Reel. We're outside the studio today live to interview Ryan Ditmars, who works at the Burlington Regal 20, and we're here to talk about superhero films in honor of Superhero Week. With manager Ryan Ditmars. It's an honor to meet you.
Good morning, Jared.
All right. Today we're actually talking about superhero films, and we'd like to know, what is your view on superhero films in the movie industry?
Well, I think the superhero movies obviously are, if we were to talk about film history, how, 30s and 40s might have been film noir and gangster movies, and, the 60s became kind of a counterculture genre. I think superheroes are now, the genre of, the era that we're living in now. Ever since Jaws came out, the quote-unquote, first blockbuster and Star Wars and all those other films, I think studios have realized, people want these kind of escapist, fun, adventure films.
All right, and our topic of choice for the movie review was actually Dark Knight Rises. So, what are your views on Christopher Nolan as a director?
Well, I think Christopher Nolan's an interesting director. He started with the movie called The Following. he got another chance to make another movie. He made Memento. It was such a big indie hit. It was, such a fantastic movie. And then Dark Knight Rises comes out years later, and everyone was, could not wait to see it. That shooting unfortunately happened in Colorado, and I think that took some light out. I think it has a stigma on the movie now, unfortunately. But I feel Dark Knight Rises just, to me it's the best of the trilogy. A lot of people knocked on Christian Bale's voice, but I actually enjoyed that kind of aspect of it.
Storm's coming. I'm counting on it. You'll be in a padded cell forever. Swear to God. Swear to me!
And since you've been working at the movie theater, what's your impact on the theater itself with superhero films?
I've seen a big impact in the superhero movies over the course of time I've worked here, and I think obviously it started in my memory with Spider-Man 1. When that came out, I think that really crossed all sorts of ages and genders. Kids wanted to see it, adults wanted to see it, grandparents wanted to see it, and I think that's a big deal. When the kids and the grandparents both want to see it, you have a box office hit.
All right, well, thank you again, Ryan Ditmars.
Thank you, Jared.
All right, we'll take it back to you, Jackie.
That's all for this week's episode. Tune in next week as we get into the holiday spirit with our Christmas movie special. I'm Jackie Hanna, and this has been Real to Real.